Shout out to everybody in the chat. Even though nobody pulled up, but everybody will pull up later. All right, let's get into it.
From police after escaping their custody yesterday. Police have not shared any new leads about where he might be, but we obtained new video today showing how he got away. 10 TV's Carly Dion is here to walk you through that body camera video. Carly?
Yolanda, Quinntel Bagley has been on the run for nearly 36 hours now since he first escaped police custody around 1 o'clock yesterday. This video released today shows the moment Bagley escaped police custody. Here, a Grove City police officer can be seen escorting Bagley in handcuffs on his left out of Fairfield Medical Center. He was in police custody after attempting to kidnap a woman in Grove City early Thursday morning. As they start walking outside, Bagley makes a break for it, sprinting away from the officers. This officer can be seen trying to run after him, then stopping.
16, he took off running.
The body camera video then shows Bagley as he continues running out of the parking garage with no one chasing after him.
He's in 2 sets of cuffs. He's headed toward Ewing.
The officer then walks back to his cruiser.
Nah, you gotta keep running. The fuck? You gotta keep running. You can't just give up. Hell no, man. Let's see how much he ran. It don't look like this man ran no bit. This officer didn't even run that much. Let's see.
The officer can be seen escorting Bagley in handcuffs on his left out of Fairfield Medical Center. He was in police custody after attempting to kidnap a woman in Grove City early Thursday morning. As they start walking outside, Bagley makes a break for it, sprinting away from the officers. This officer can be seen trying to run after him, then stopping.
16, he took off running.
He can be seen stopping.
The body camera video then shows Bagley as he continues running out of the parking garage. This officer can be seen early Thursday morning out of Fairfield Medical Center. He was in police custody after attempting to kidnap a woman in Grove City early Thursday morning. As they start walking outside, Bagley makes a break for it, sprinting away from the officers. This officer can be seen trying to run after him, then stopping.
16, he took off running.
The body camera video then shows Bagley as he continues running out of the parking garage with no one chasing after him.
He's in 2 sets of cuffs. He's headed toward Ewing.
The officer then walks back to his cruiser. Meanwhile, this body camera video shows the other officer assisting with the escort of Bagley also running after him before falling to the ground. That officer gets up and also calls for help.
He's running.
She then yells out to Bagley,
"Get back over here!"
That's when Lancaster police were called in to help search for him, responding to a creek near the hospital. Here, officers can be seen searching in that creek with a canine.
The last thing we need is just to get in somebody's house.
They continued their search through neighborhoods and yards with no luck. Then dispatchers received this phone call from a concerned husband who says Bagley stole his wife's car and phone. Then Bagley called him.
He said he cut his wrist and he was suicidal. He said that my wife and kids were okay. He just needed to get the car and go.
That man's car was eventually located in a southeast Columbus apartment complex later that afternoon. Police say there he tried to steal another car. When that didn't work, he took off on foot. Police searched extensively for Bagley with canines and drones, but could not find him. And police say he is considered to be armed and dangerous, and anyone who sees him should call 911 immediately. He's described as being 6 feet tall, 212 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes, and was last seen wearing tan clothing. Carly Dion, 10 TV News.
Oh, that's this character.
I'm Millie, a content creator.
That's the character that we dealing with right now. You heard? He escaped, and then he took somebody's car. Now it should be some footage. Let's go back to the car that he took. Took somebody's car. And then
Path and Old Millersport roads in Lancaster.
let's see what this creep.
We are back with breaking news now at 5:30. Lancaster police are looking for an escaped inmate who they say is armed and dangerous. Take a look at your screen right now. This is Quinntel Bagley. If you see him, do not approach him. Just call 911.
Now, he was last seen in the area of Coon Path and Old Millersport roads in Lancaster. Lancaster police says he is 6 feet tall, was last seen wearing a black shirt and black shorts, and he had taken off in a silver Hyundai. Grove City police say they have now found that vehicle.
Certainly a lot of developments in the last 30 minutes here. Thanks for staying with us at 5:30. I'm Angela Ann.
And I'm Yolanda Harris. Andrew's off this week. Tonight, we now know Bagley is the same person accused of kidnapping a woman earlier this morning in Grove City. And right now, Carly Dion joins us live. And Carly, what can you tell us about this search so far? We understand they found the vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Yolanda, Angela, Quinntel Bagley was being treated here at Fairfield Medical Center when he managed to escape custody as an agency was attempting to transport him. And Lancaster police tell us Quinntel actually managed to obtain control of a vehicle that was a 2019 gray Hyundai Santa Fe, and police did locate that vehicle in the area of State Route 33 and Hamilton Road. Bagley is described as being 6 feet tall, 212 pounds. He is 38 years old with black hair and brown eyes, and now he was last seen in that area of State Route 33 and Hamilton Road wearing tan clothing. Now, again, police say he is believed to be armed and dangerous, and they're asking anyone who may see him to not go near him.
You see that armed and dangerous? That means severe threat to society. So not only do if you see him, he's liable to have a weapon. So officers, proceed with caution. That's what that means. Proceed with caution. It might be a bang out. You heard? Armed and dangerous mean this nigga might have a gun. You might have to shoot this nigga. You heard? Unfortunately, you might have to shoot him. You heard? That's what armed and dangerous mean. Let's take it back a little bit and we're going to let it rock.
State Route 33 and Hamilton Road wearing tan clothing. Now, again, police say he is believed to be armed and dangerous, and they're asking anyone who may see him to not go near him. But if you do have any information about his whereabouts, to contact 911. Yolanda and Angela.
All right. Thank you, Carly. Now, we turn now to that scene where the suspect's car was found, and several agencies are looking through a wooded area.
Let's get right to 10 TV's Tara Jabor. She joins us now with our team coverage. Tara, you're right near State Route 33 and Hamilton Road in southeast Columbus.
This is near an apartment complex along Tarleton Square. And Tara, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Angela and Yolanda, that's right. Police are looking for Quinntel Bagley in this area. As you can see behind me, this is a large apartment complex. A lot of people live here. You can see there are police here from Whitehall, from the Columbus Division of Police. We've also seen the sheriff's office out here. We're right near State Route 33 in South Hamilton Road. This, of course, where the car Bagley stole was found in this area. He's accused of kidnapping a woman this
South Hamilton Road. What state is this in? Anybody know? Let me know. What state is this in?
morning and escaping custody. Now, police are in this search. We've seen canines looking in the wooded area back by the highway behind these apartments. Restaurants nearby confirmed that CPD launched its helicopter to help with the search. We've also seen officers walking around with their guns come out of those woods. A little bit earlier today, about 30 minutes ago, we did see a drone up in this area. Now, again, a lot of people live in this apartment complex. We've been seeing neighbors come outside of their homes wondering what's going on. Now, police say that if you see Bagley, you should consider him armed and dangerous. He's 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen a black shirt and shorts. Of course, this is still an active search right now. We'll, of course, continue to be out here and continue to give you guys updates on air and online. Reporting live in Columbus, Tara Jabor, 10 TV News.
Damn, that's a tall nigga, man. Guess what?
If you're a web designer, here are 4 Wix Studio features you gotta know.
They on them. Can't hide. Let's just do some research on this guy. You heard? Let's just do some research on this guy. Quinntel, he got two N's in his joint. Armed and dangerous man escapes after arrest and alleged kidnapping of his girlfriend. It's a real fucking creep, you heard? Police search for Quinntel, wanted felon accused of kidnapping his ex-girlfriend. Now let's take it a step further, because we got shout out Law and Crime. They touched on it as well. We're gonna get to what Law and Crime said, because Law and Crime got this dude mapped out. You heard? They got his ass. You heard? So we're gonna rock with Law and Crime real quick.
On the loose after escaping police custody in an alleged kidnapping case. And guess what? He's accused now, less than 2 months later, of trying to kidnap the same woman again. With authorities still searching for Quinntel Bagley, we got to break down how and why this happened with prison consultant Justin Paperny. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, I'm going to...
Shout out Sidebar, shout out Jesse Weber. I like their channel because they dissect it. They get the professionals to talk about it, and it just gives you a perspective from the outside, people with all this experience and knowledge, how to look at a case and zoom in on it for what it is. So shout out to Law and Crime Sidebar, Jesse Weber. I always watch you guys, and it's a pleasure to be dissecting your content. So let's get into it.
Tell you this story with the caveat that this is a rapidly developing one, okay? So we're going to go to Grove City, Ohio, where police are still on the lookout for a sex offender who escaped police custody. Now, he was accused of kidnapping his ex-girlfriend.
I'm going to go get some more coffee. I'm going to start it from the beginning, all right? I'm going to come back.
Felon is on the loose after escaping police custody in an alleged kidnapping case. And guess what? He's accused now, less than 2 months later, of trying to kidnap the same woman again. With authorities still searching for Quinntel Bagley, we got to break down how and why this happened with prison consultant Justin Paperny. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, I'm going to tell you this story with the caveat that this is a rapidly developing one, okay? So we're going to go to Grove City, Ohio, where police are still on the lookout for a sex offender who escaped police custody. Now, he was accused of kidnapping his ex-girlfriend not once, but twice. Yeah. So back on June 13th, Grove City police get a report that a woman has gone missing. And they come to suspect that 38-year-old Quinntel Bagley kidnapped her from her home. Now, her car was abandoned, but they end up finding this woman at a gas station hours later. They arrest Bagley, but this is where the story takes a turn. After he is treated for his injuries at a medical center, he is escorted to a police cruiser, handcuffed behind his back, when he manages to yank himself away from an officer's grip, runs away in a parking lot, and escapes to a nearby woods. Police indicate later on that he breaks into a home using an unlocked second-floor window, steals a car at knife point from a woman and her kids, and then drives away. Again, no one can find him. And then last week, out of all things, police get a report that Mr. Bagley tried to kidnap the same woman again, allegedly took her from her home, drove her to Columbus, but then she was the one who was able to escape from him. Yes, she escaped unharmed, contacted police. She reportedly told authorities that Bagley was wearing dark clothing, he was wearing a mask, and he is accused of kidnapping his ex-girlfriend not once, but twice. Yeah. So back on June 13th, Grove City police get a report that a woman has gone missing. And they come to suspect that 38-year-old Quinntel Bagley kidnapped her from her home. Now, her car was abandoned, but they end up finding this woman at a gas station hours later. They arrest Bagley, but this is where the story takes a turn. After he is treated for his injuries at a medical center, he is escorted to a police cruiser, handcuffed behind his back, when he manages to yank himself away from an officer's grip, runs away in a park. Get a report that a woman has gone missing.
That's
and they
where
come to suspect that 38.
Okay, now we're going to the incident, into the footage where we saw him run. All right, so let him explain it one more time. My fault. I'm catching up with y'all. Let's get it.
Quinntel Bagley kidnapped her from her home. Now, her car was abandoned, but they end up finding this woman at a gas station hours later. They arrest Bagley, but this is where the story takes a turn. After he is treated for his injuries at a medical center, he is escorted to a police cruiser, handcuffed behind his back, when he manages to yank himself away from an officer's grip, runs away in a parking lot, and escapes to a nearby woods. Wow. Police indicate later on that he breaks into a home using an unlocked second-floor window, steals a car at knife point from a woman and her kids, and then drives away. Again, no one can find him. And then last week, out of all things, police get a report that Mr. Bagley tried to kidnap the same woman again, allegedly took her from her home, drove her to Columbus, but then she was the one who was able to escape from him. Yes, she escaped unharmed, contacted police. She reportedly told authorities that Bagley was wearing dark clothing, he was wearing a mask, and he is wanted on charges of aggravated burglary, aggravated robbery, failure to comply, parole violation for kidnapping, failure to register as a sex offender. Police say he is 6 foot, 212 pounds, with black hair, brown eyes. He is considered armed and dangerous. And the U.S. Marshal's Office is now on the case, and they are putting up a $5,000 reward for Bagley's arrest. Anyone who sees him is asked.
Y'all know them rewards. The rewards bring out the rats. Them rewards bring out the rats. You know, once they put the rewards, that niggas gonna start telling where the hell he at.
To call 911 or 614-469-5540. Grove City Mayor Richard Stage also announced a $5,000 reward for information leading up to Bagley's arrest, so you have $10,000 in total. I want to quickly call out our great sponsor of this episode that helps make Sidebar happy, your tank, right? And yes, this is actual real. How much you could earn? Click.
You don't get no earnings from that.
Thank you so much for coming on, Justin. Great.
Let's see.
Tired of guessing what's wrong with your YouTube videos?
No. Let's see what they're talking about real quick before we move on.
Because he continues to victimize people, have such empathy for this woman who had the emotional, physical pain of getting victimized. And now 24 hours a day, I'm sure she fears, is he coming? What's happening? I read they put some security outside the home, but still the pain that she continues to feel is tragic, and I empathize with her. Also, I've got to address, there are some jobs, in my humble opinion, that should be zero tolerance. When you have a sex offender who's violating parole, who is at risk of running, who continues to break the law, it is all hands.
I agree with that. You put an old lady and an old man on this sex offender. You're supposed to have athletic officers guarding this person down like the predator he is. You don't have careless supervision on a predator like this. This was careless. This was careless. He sized these officers up all day, or the whole time in the hospital. He was like, I got these officers. They don't call backup, I got them. And that's what he did. He didn't think twice. He acted, he bounced. You heard? So definitely should have had more arms on him. Not these 2 arms. That's why he didn't even act like it was nothing. He walked with the dude because he knew he was going to run out.
Hands on deck to ensure this person cannot escape. So the person or the people that allowed him to flee.
Oh, y'all don't even see me. Let's take it from the beginning.
With authorities still searching for Quinntel Bagley, we got to break down how and why this happened with prison consultant Justin Paperny. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, I'm going to tell you this story with the caveat that this is a rapidly developing one, okay? So we're going to go to Grove City, Ohio, where police are still on the lookout for a sex offender who escaped police custody. Now, he was accused of kidnapping his ex-girlfriend not once, but twice. Yeah. So back on June 13th,
Dude, it's crazy, man.
Grove City police get a report that a woman has gone missing. And they come to suspect that 38-year-old Quinntel Bagley kidnapped her from her home. Now, her car was abandoned, but they end up finding this woman at a gas station hours later. They arrest Bagley, but this is where the story takes a turn. After he is treated for his injuries at a medical center, he is escorted to a police cruiser, handcuffed behind his back, when he manages to yank himself away from an officer's grip, runs away in a parking lot, and escapes to a nearby woods. Police indicate later on that he breaks into a home using an unlocked second-floor window, steals a car at knife point from a woman and her kids, and then drives away. Again, no one can find him. And then last week, out of all things, police get a report that Mr. Bagley tried to kidnap the same woman again, allegedly took her from her home, drove her to Columbus, but then she was the one who was able to escape from him. Yes, she escaped unharmed, contacted police. She reportedly told authorities that Bagley was wearing dark clothing, he was wearing a mask, and he is wanted on charges of aggravated burglary, aggravated robbery, failure to comply, parole violation for kidnapping, failure to register as a sex offender. Police say he is 6 foot, 212 pounds, with black hair, brown eyes. He is considered armed and
6 feet 212. You're not playing around with that dude, bro. And he armed and dangerous. Like, we're not playing around. Address him accordingly, you heard? But he only taking girls and doing stuff with girls, and he ain't really nobody to be afraid of, you heard? He's just a predator.
$5,000 reward for information leading up to Bagley's arrest, so you have $10,000 in total. I want to quickly call out our great sponsor of this episode that helps make Sidebar happen, Upsides.
We don't really want to sponsor nobody. Let's get into the professional. Let's see what the professional is saying.
Correct him and prepare him for the toughest part for so many people coming home from prison, is for letting him get away.
Yeah, and there's other people who are victimized as a result.
The concern is he does something tragic and awful, hurt someone, where he's going to serve the rest of his life in some prison, creates victims. He still has a chance to do something good, not hurt someone, and also not have taxpayers warehouse him for the rest of his life and stay in some prison. He still has an opportunity to make a good decision, though, based on his history.
That's how you look at, I mean, that's fucked up. But when he just said it, it just clicked to me like, have taxpayers warehouse him.
How do you think he's been on the loose for so long? Do you think someone might be helping him?
Enablers are involved in all sorts of crimes, from violent crimes to white-collar crimes. There could be people, as we know, who are sympathetic to his plight. Could be a good salesman, narcissistic, who can embrace this idea, the system, or other people.
Does your business need to send rewards and gift cards in bulk? Try Tremendous.
Made some promises to them if they help. So enablers are part and parcel to any crime. And no, it wouldn't surprise me. Someone gives them a car, some money, a gun, some food, something that continues this charade or pain that he's putting on other people. And in time, I think we know from experience, they get those people too. So it wouldn't surprise me in the end if he found some sympathizers willing to help him.
There was something you said before about there are certain people who go to prison and when they come out, their view on the world, because the idea that he is able to run away and he allegedly goes back and kidnaps the same woman. Any idea in your experience why somebody would do that? Is it to commit an unfinished crime? Do they treat the...
That would never make sense. Jesse, I get you trying to do your job, But that can never make sense. This person right here can never make that make sense. How somebody could be released and try to do some dumb shit like that. It's just you can't go into the psyche of somebody that would think like that, because to any logical mind that would think like the dumbest thing to do. Like that would think like the dumbest, that would sound like I would never even consider that, bro. So the fact that he did it fresh out, like just went straight to go kidnap the same person that he caught the case with, is it blows my mind. But this is reality, you heard. But let's see what the professional says.
The victim as the person who wronged them. It's their fault for what happened. Again, I think that's one of the parts of this story that's the most shocking.
Right. He could have spent years convincing himself that other people are to blame for his problems. He's the victim. And as a result of that, that enables someone to essentially excuse all of their conduct. He might have gone there with the idea to try to rationalize, explain what happened. I've changed. I'm back. And I presume if he did that, he didn't get the response he wanted. So what does he do? He defaults to violent criminal activity. And she is strong to get away. And I empathize with what she's enduring 24 hours a day right now as the pain continues. But he probably went there with good intentions. Let me explain to you what happened. Here's my second shot. And when it didn't go well, he just reverts back to what he always reverts to: crime, pain, and hurting people.
But to be clear, when somebody is convicted and they're incarcerated, if they get out, do they end up, and we talk about these recidivism rates, do they end up committing crimes that are very similar to what they were originally charged and convicted for? Or is there an escalation? Is it something else? Because, again, I find that interesting, considering what he was accused of doing and what he is accused of doing a second time.
They tend to revert back to what they know best, committing similar crimes. So,
yeah, he's not. This isn't a predator, bro. Like, this is. Let's call it what it is, bro. This is a tender dick guy that's love struck, probably got his feelings hurt. Proclaimed probably pretty boy, lover boy, you know what I'm saying? Multiple women. You know what I mean? This is the type of guy that has to own a woman. He's 6'2", he's tall, he's big, has to be dominant, the women have to be scared of him. You know what I'm saying? This isn't. It's a piece of shit, bro. Like, it's just a piece of shit of a dude.
if it's burglary, if it's extortion, if it's kidnapping, if it's sex offenses, and if they haven't been corrected in prison, they're going to revert back to what they know and to what they're most comfortable with. And he also had an inkling of what the potential sanction or sentence could be, because even with that 10-year federal state sentence that he had, there were some charges. I read rape and some other charges were reduced. They got that 10-year sentence. So some people actually calculate what could happen here if I commit and get caught for this crime. Could it be 10 years? Could it be 20 years? There are some people that are that calculating. But in my experience, they revert back to what they know best, the type of crimes they were committing.
And by the way, just generally speaking, how often do we see people escaping from law enforcement, escaping from prison? Does it happen more than we know?
It actually happens in some minimum security camps where I serve time, because there's no fences or barbed wire. You can just walk off. But in the higher security prisons, it's rare, though it happens.
That's transportation.
But to have him escape right in front of marshals or officers is a total breakdown. There needs to be some processes changed. And again, there needs to be some accountability for letting him get away.
Right.
They needed to be on him, watching him. In no way could they have let him get away. And it's coming out.
They stopped way too early, if you ask me. Like, it wasn't like they gave up chase. All right, the lady fell. Cool, the lady fell. The dude, he didn't run that far at all. The dude didn't run that far at all. And you can't, I mean, he was running fast, but he wasn't running that fast. Your arms give you more traction to run. So with your arms behind your back, you could have easily got tripped up and fell, bro. You shouldn't have been able to be running down the parking lot and nobody be able to catch you. It's just ridiculous. Big loophole. And like this guy said, somebody should have been held accountable for it. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but somebody should have been definitely held accountable.
To try to track this guy down. We just pray that no one else is hurt in this process. There needs to be some processes changed. And again, there needs to be some accountability for letting him get away. They needed to be on him, watching him. In no way could they have let him get away. And it's coming now at great pain and taxpayer expense to try to track this guy down. We just pray that no one else is hurt in this process.
He loves saying that taxpayers expense. We gotta track this guy down. The taxpayers are suffering. No offense, I pay my taxes too. You understand? But damn, bro, you don't gotta keep on putting the taxpayers up. We get it. We already know this. If you work and pay taxes, where your taxes is going. You don't have to say the taxpayers. You don't.
And from your experience, when you were incarcerated, do people talk about?
Oh, you was incarcerated?
Or they come up with plans to escape? They might not do it, but is that something that is part of the conversation?
No.
It's not part of the conversation because they wouldn't want to divulge it, because there are people on the inside, informants, who may take that information, run to staff with hopes if they share that information, that prisoner or inmate may get some cooperation. They may release him early for tattletaling or snitching some prison parlance, as they say, on another prisoner. There are some people who had such heartache at home, they literally just walk off, but nobody ever knew. Sometimes there have been people escaping from prison with help from staff, and we've seen some of those cases over the last few years too, where a sympathetic prison guard gets involved and wants to help that prisoner escape. But no, you would not expect someone to tell somebody else. They don't want anyone to know.
Right.
By the way, when he's captured, because I imagine that I think it's going to be very difficult for him to stay on the outside, but if he's captured, when he's captured, what precautions will be put in place for where he's held? Let's say he's ultimately convicted, or even just if he's incarcerated or if he's sent to jail as he waits his trial. What extra precautions will be taken for somebody who has a history now of being able to elude law enforcement and right now the U.S. Marshal's Office?
Definitely. Let me answer first. He's definitely going to be in the secure housing unit. He's definitely got to live in a hole. Have him in the pound. He can't be in general population. There's too many openings to where he could look, see, and try to find a glitch in the system. So we definitely need him in the pound. You heard? We need him underground. We don't need him nowhere above ground where he could map out an escape plan or anything like that. So he's going to be in secure custody. Let's see what he has to say.
Total and complete lockdown. His lawyers will not be asking for bond. That much we know. It will be total and complete lockdown. Isolated in a cell or some bunker 23, 24 hours a day, only out to make a phone call to his lawyers, a few minutes of exercise, or to shower. They cannot let this happen again. For that reason, he will be totally isolated. And this is a consequence of his bad choices. And it's coming. He knows that it's coming, which is part of the reason I'm concerned about him going totally rogue, doing.
And that new charge. Don't forget, this is also a new charge too. So on top of the new one, he caught an escape charge as well. So that's all of that is going to be
something really, really crazy and creating violence or hurting someone else, because he knows what's in store for him on the other side. When you serve 10 years in prison as he did, he saw isolation. He saw lockup. He saw guys going to the hole. He knows what's in store for him. And if he feels there's no other way out, it's more likely that he makes bad choices. They've got to find him.
I want to end with a statement from Diana Williams. She's the founder of Ohio Women Against Domestic Violence. And she released a statement saying, "We can see the threat level because the next time we might not be so fortunate where she gets away," meaning the victim in this case. "I know the fear first and foremost is there because this has now happened more than once." And I think we go back to this idea of the victim in this case and what she went through and what we're talking about here. That has to be tremendously traumatic for her, knowing that he came back or allegedly came back. And I imagine that also for people who are victims of crimes and their perpetrators are ultimately, they escape or they make they've served their time, they're ultimately out. I imagine that's really traumatic, Justin, for those victims.
She'll have the emotional turmoil and pain for the rest of her life. So you have that physical abuse of getting taken and then escaping. And some victims would argue the emotional turmoil for the rest of her life is worse than the actual experience and what she endured at that time in getting away. So I would agree with what that very nice woman said. It's something she'll suffer with for the rest of her life. Just looking at humanity, the way she interacts with people, the way she trusts people, it is in every single way a lifelong sentence for her. And I hope she gets treatment. I hope she's healthy and strong. And I hope she has all the resources necessary to overcome. She should be the priority here. And we need to do all we can to make sure that she gets through this as successfully and healthily as possible.
Very well said. Justin Paperny, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's all we
All right, this dude is still free. This dude is still free. And this is Columbus, Ohio. That's where he's at. He's in
Quinntel Bagley. Quinntel Bagley is still on the run. He is considered armed and dangerous, now accused of kidnapping the same person twice.
The next time we may not be so fortunate, where she gets away.
We spoke with Diana Williams, who is the founder of Ohio Women Against Domestic Violence. She's also a survivor herself.
I know the fear and the fear first and foremost is there because this has happened more than once.
Bagley has been on the run since June 13th when he ran from police custody at Fairfield Medical Center in Lancaster. Grove City police say that they have been actively investigating this case since then. On Friday, the victim was kidnapped again.
Victims kidnapped again. Let's go through some of the comments. Let's see what the comments say. Oh my God, these kidnappers need life because he was accused of it twice. Okay, then he will do it again. These repeat violent offenders are a danger to society. Life in prison without possibility of parole. When they catch up to him, he'll be getting charged for murder. God, please help return this victim to their family safe and sound. I think the victim was returned to the family. Who's the victim? How can people be on the lookout without knowing who the victim is? The victim is safe, y'all. The victim escaped and got away. What, he got away from cops being handcuffed? Yes. How did the police let this happen? Right. He handcuffed from the behind. He can't be too far. Not true. All he needs is to get that shit cut. A saw, anything. Once he gets that thing severed, he's free. He could get those things off his hands. Was he released? They make it sound like he escaped. He did escape. I'm also a survivor. Sorry to hear that, Paulette. Please help and protect this woman, please. Y'all have already felt her once. Y'all have already felt her once. I hope he is caught. I pray his wife is alive and well. Until the court system takes DV seriously and how dangerous these people are, they are just going to keep holding the door for them to get out of jail. I hate to say the Columbus courts made my parents get separated, but my mom picked him. I hope this woman is safe. I'm hoping by the time this comment is read, he will be in custody. Yeah. Good luck. This is a victim's worst nightmare. How was he able to get away? I would think an officer would need to stay with him at all times. Ran off. He was cuffed. She needs to carry in Ohio. You don't need a gun permit. I hope she passed the background check. I wonder which prosecutor let him out. Let's see how fat and How shaped those officers were not to be able to catch a handcuffed person, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, these men are so bold. Women need to get on to protect themselves. The system is not working for women. They'll get born again and get out. Oh, well, incompetence of the police. I pray for that woman. Yeah, a lot of people is not feeling it. It appears this man is in the wrong. However, we're not all like that. Stop treating us all like we are. There are very few men that do this, yet most DV organizations act as if we are all like this. Free Bird, Hills Up, Harris. Oh man, son. So the public definitely don't. I ain't really noticed that he was still loose. So he's still loose. We're gonna keep our eyes on that. You heard? We're gonna keep our eyes on that. On top of that, Quinntel Bagley. You heard? He's a piece of shit. He needs to be locked up. So once he gets locked up, we're gonna run down on him. Let's go into this one. The pregnant worker stealing cash from the register. Let's check in on her. Shout out to everybody tapped in. We going on.
Wow, I just built the most amazing workflow on Monday.com.
You build your own work.
About 30 minutes. Oh, hold on. Shout out Karen Cam. We're just gonna go right into it. Let's see what this video. Pregnant worker regrets stealing from cash register for child. Here we go.
No, you're not. You're going to stay with me. Don't make this about you and me. This ain't about you and me.
I'm pregnant and I feel tight.
On June 8th, 2023, officers responded to a report involving a 20-year-old pregnant employee suspected of stealing money from the cash register. For several weeks, the employee had been taking money from the register, raising concerns among
20 years old, no baby father, nigga, a piece of shit. You got your baby mom stealing money out the register. Baby ain't even born yet. Sad. Come on, video. Play. Oh. Raising concerns among management. Why my video? Oh, come on, man.
A big word. This is the first time me getting in trouble with the police.
Right.
I was getting kicked out of my house.
Stop.
I'm gonna go outside.
No, you're not. You're going to stay with me. Don't make this about you and me. This ain't about you and me.
I'm pregnant and I feel tight.
On June 8th, 2023, officers responded to a report involving a 20-year-old pregnant employee suspected of stealing money from the cash register. For several weeks, the employee had been taking money from the register, raising...
Don't do that to me. I knew it had to be something. I'm thinking it's me. It stopped at this same spot. Like, what's going on? Come on. What's up with your video?
Concerns among management. An investigation confirmed the suspicions, leading to a swift response from law enforcement.
Terminating. Peace. Okay.
What all do you need from me?
Oh, I need her to come in, too.
Her to come in?
Come on in, have a seat.
Uh-oh.
Come on in, have a seat. Just grab a seat.
Uh-oh.
All right, so give me the gist of what's going on.
Basically, we got some
Can.
reports and emails sent to us from our loss
You
prevention.
got me looking bad out here.
Several different deaths
What's
were
up with this
registered.
body
All
cam?
documented, time stamped, all
It's
that.
not me.
Who's your
Double
loss
S is not
prevention
me. I
officer?
don't know.
It's actually
That's
not
a
an
body
officer.
cam.
We have a big team of people that do it, so it's not a specific person.
Okay. So, what do you have for me? Because there's two sides to this.
Sure.
Okay. There's your work side, what they decide to do with work, and then there's the criminal aspect. Are you guys pressing charges?
Yeah, the company wants to press charges.
Damn.
We
I
have
don't want to hear that.
a file that can be emailed to you.
You do not want to hear that.
Some
They want to
videos that I
press
can show you
charges.
now. I don't know exactly how this works. So.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody that's up fucking with me. I appreciate y'all.
No ID? You have a driver's license?
No,
How old are
I
you?
don't have no documentations. I'm 20.
You're 20. What's your first name?
Marlene.
So yeah, I'm gonna need you to
Where
send
you
me
from?
the
I'm
whole
not-
file. What is the grand total you
You don't
guys
have
have
no
come up with?
documents.
I read 540 and I also read 500.
Uh-oh.
So you showing
That's grand
shortages
larceny.
at the end of your shift?
That's a felony.
The food was being taken off. And
Voided
they
off.
calculated the difference.
Voided off. And then whatever the amount was for the sale. So the drawer will be off.
Could be minimal, right? Based on
$1.
exact
Yeah,
cash.
so the change could be left, and then rounding up or down. So transactions were voided from that.
Correct.
Okay.
You'll see that.
What's your starting date? When did it start?
Starting date.
Where she work at? KFC? Ocal loves KFC. Yeah, this is definitely KFC because you see the KFC man right there. So all right, she worked at KFC and she was stealing out the register of a fast food spot. This is why I tell y'all, times is hard. It's not like back in the day. Times is hard, yo. We're gonna be watching these shoplifting videos, fraudulent check videos, trafficking videos, stealing out from your own job, knowing you're gonna get caught videos. Like, people is doing the unthinkable for the bare minimum. And it's not about the sake of a crime, it's about being hungry. It's about the need. Like, these people are really in need, you heard? But it's all of those videos is out right now, and it's happening on a daily basis. But let's get back to it, though.
No, you can't. The driver just returned.
July 8th
Starting on July 8th?
through July 26th.
And do you have a total amount of times? What it looks like?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 different transactions? Okay. So if you go ahead and, where's that card I gave you? I'm going to put my phone on there too. If it's easier to text, you can do that.
I think she's being put up to do this. Automatically, she looks like an immigrant. She doesn't look like she's from this country. Her English is choppy. Just listen. Listen to her talk. Feel her out. Feel out her body language. She doesn't seem like she's mad about losing her job. She doesn't seem like she's nervous about police contact. She just seems like she's just here for the process.
Every written document, every video document. You give us some time here. Okay, you are detained, so you're not free to leave. Don't go trying to walk out, okay? I'm a police officer, so that's a lot. No, you want to hear what I said?
Yes.
You're detained. So that means you're not free to leave. Don't go trying to run out the door or anything, because then you immediately catch a charge for that. And then, yes, you will be immediately placed under arrest. But because you're detained, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights. Okay? You put your phone down, please. Just turn it over.
Turn it off.
I don't want to take the
Damn.
phone away from you like a child, so I'm asking you to put the phone down when you're detained, okay? You
Why
have the
the
right to
fuck
remain
would I
silent.
turn it off?
So do you want me to
Might as
explain
well take
what all that means? Okay, because you're detained, I can't just throw questions at you. You have the right to say, nope, I don't want to say anything. You also have the right to say, I understand, I'll talk to you, and then at any time you can say, nope, I'm done talking to you, I don't want to answer any more questions. So do you understand what those rights are? Okay. Having those rights in mind, do you want to answer the questions I want to ask you about this? Okay. How long have you worked here?
For like 5 months.
It's Marlena, is that how you pronounce it? Okay, I'm Bob Crossman. So you've worked here for how long? You worked there for how long?
5 months.
For 5 months. Okay. And you've had access to the cash register since you got off training? Okay. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to explain what I'm seeing there?
Like I just blame him. Sometimes money that's put in my pocket is tip money. He did agree with that. Other than that,
tip money.
Just like us, yes.
Do they have any kind of
tip money?
Do they have
If
policy?
the customers give us tip, we're allowed to get some tips.
You wouldn't go
Other than
put that in the
like I just
register.
blame him. I was going through a rough time. Look, if I'm getting arrested, just let me know so I can text them so they don't wait for me outside.
I will, but I got to ask you the right questions, right? So aside from that, you said you were going through hard times, and
yes, I explained him. He knows about everything, so I just told him I really didn't want to get arrested. I didn't want to go through all this because I have a baby.
Right.
You know, I'm really trying to go home. If I got to go to court, I will go to court. I don't mind.
Right.
Like I just don't want to get arrested.
but go to court for it. So you're saying that these are legitimate claims?
So, like I just told him, I don't think 540 is all the amount. No, I think that's way too much. That's way too much money for what he's saying. Like I just planned. Probably shorter than that, it would be okay, but that's just way too much amount that he put in there. No, I don't think that's.
Okay, so do you understand that they're going to present me with
Yes.
each individual
Yes, he just.
and
yes.
every voided transaction?
Yes.
So, do you have an amount in your mind that you think you've stolen?
No.
I mean, it adds up quickly. I know.
I can't say I stole. It's like, for me to be honest, stealing is a big word. It's a really, really big word.
Stealing is a big word. Did you take the money from the register or not? The fuck is you talking about stealing is a big word? Took money from KFC. To me, stealing is a big word. Did you steal it or not? So you gonna make the officer want to lock you up playing Dumbo Slice.
I have never been arrested before. This is the first time I'm getting in trouble with the police or anything. So I think 540 it's a lot, and if I could probably like take $50 out of the register, I think it could be. But
50 total?
Like no, I just said if to take money out of the register, I think $540 is just way too much.
Okay.
I know I'm risking my job over this.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get my
So their accusation is that they have 12 documented times of you going through. Is that fair to say that you've done this 12 times?
I don't think I have done it 12 times.
Okay. How many times do you think you've done it?
I'm not going to put a number in my mind. Like,
Well, put a number into my mind because I'm doing a criminal investigation. So
I could probably say like 6 times.
So you think you've done it half the times? See, this is top part's going to be all what they say. Bottom part's going to be what you say. So you think you've done it 6 times? Now they're going to show me receipts for the transactions. So the question I want to ask you is, what dollar amounts? I saw you taking 20s out.
I'm sorry?
I see you taking 20s from. I know the 20. It's 20s, 10s, 5s, 1s. I mean, all cash drawers are the same. So, like, if I look at this first video, and that's you, and then you do the transaction with that person and give them the receipt. So, is that the move? Like, void it off, and then go back and take it out after? I mean, because it makes sense. They're done. They got their food. You open the drawer, and you're in the 20s.
I froze.
In the 10s.
This is empty. This is 5 1s, 5.
I see it. I know. I mean, those are 20s. I see it. 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s. So, I mean, and they're just going to coordinate it with whatever that sale was, right? So is that what the move was? Like, whatever the sale was?
I'm sorry?
The sale, like, whatever you rang up for that person. And then you delete it out? Is that the move? So you didn't delete the transaction?
We don't delete transactions.
Yeah, he telling you your move.
Transactions either.
Okay. So what is he saying about the void?
Hold on, chat. I'm gonna try to
It's not
fix
voided.
it.
What he's saying is we have an option in the computer. We put 10. You
I see
just
it
take
on the
$10
monitor.
off
Wait,
the whole meal, and that
I
was
see it on the
Why would you
monitor.
take $10 off the meal?
Okay, I'm gonna explain you the same thing. I was telling him. I was getting kicked out of my house.
Right.
I was getting eviction.
Right. I understand you needed the money.
I asked for the help here in the corporate. I did.
Right.
I did an application online where they were helping, and then so the thing had denied. So
For like an advance?
yes, it was like an advance. So it got denied from the work. I had most of the amount. I just needed like a couple more dollars, and that was it. So those couple more dollars that I took from here, that was what I used them for. I had an eviction. I was just trying to have for my baby's house.
Hold on, chat. Hold up. I apologize, man, because I have to fix it. I froze up and I didn't know. So bear with me. I apologize about that shit. I froze up and I didn't know. So let me come back. Give me a second. Give me a second. Don't do me like that. All right. I don't know when I froze up, but I froze up. But so far, y'all see what's going on? Y'all see what's going on? She's using a spill. It was for her kids. She almost got evicted. So she's using her spill however she could try to do it, you heard? She's trying to finesse her situation as much as she can. Bringing in the kids, but I don't think it's gonna matter, you heard? I don't think it's gonna matter. Everything's going bad. Everything's bad for her. So, hold up. We're gonna get right back into her spill. Right back into her spill right now. Shout out O Beasley getting me straight. I'm sorry, once I get my editing down, then we groovy.
I get it. I mean, I understand the reasoning why, but as far as the means to which you did it. So they're saying that you take the money from the customer and then delete the transaction or void the transaction. So that the drawer, because if you just take money out the drawer, at the end of the day, they balance the drawer and they go, the drawer's short.
Y'all caught all that lag. I apologize for that. Y'all caught all of that. I apologize.
No. Like he was trying to explain to you, it's an option. We're doing the computer is an option. Is you bring up, let's say the number 1, and it says a free 5-piece meal, then whatever they give you, let's say this was $10.29. If it was $10.29.
663, you raising me?
So yes, it's not avoiding, it's not deleting transactions or anything. It's you could keep a discount that the computer already gives you. It says -10, and that's what I was doing. It was -10, so I was keeping just $10.
How many times would you do it per the sale? Like for that sale, I see you taking 20s out. So could you do multiplications of it?
No.
Can I?
Beehive.
We're not part of no beehive. We don't condone that. You heard? This the Red Room Pod. You heard? That's how we do.
I just want to coordinate for that particular transaction that I recorded there. So I just recorded that transaction. Do you know the date and time of that one?
So I was pulling them up manually because let me pull this up right quick. This will be easier. I sent that to you, by the way. So. Okay.
I got you there.
That very last one that you recorded was from July 5th at 3:56.
This body camera is real shitty and dark, so I apologize for that. We're going on an hour party. Shout out to the couple of views that we got. They'll watch it later. It's your boy Jax Reacts, man. Let's do it.
Okay, can't open this file. So there's no files attached with that.
It should be a link because it's on a OneDrive. Yeah, right there. That right there.
This link?
Down.
This link.
She got peoples outside.
Do I need to sign in for that?
Typically, it does ask for a sign-in because it's through OneDrive. This is what you'll see once you get it. I mean, it's all detailed.
Okay. So she's saying that she can discount $10 off of a check, or is it deleted?
Yeah. So there's multiple options, right? One of the biggest problems here was she had a manager override fingerprint that she shouldn't have had. Otherwise, it's not possible for any regular team member to do that.
So her thumbprint was authorized.
She had a manager authorized thumbprint. Yep, that she shouldn't have had.
So she was given authorization to do this, whether she received it through whatever means. She's able to delete these transactions.
Correct.
And what you're saying is they should not be able to.
100%.
So this transaction, for example, is $29.78, total $31.86. She takes the money from the person, then she goes back in and refunds it.
This particular one here was there's several different ones, right? Out of the 12, some of them are a certain way and some of them are another way. The most common one is very simple. The
$10 coupon,
right? That's
with no coupon taken.
Correct. That's an easy one, right? That's just a quick 10 out the drawer. But the most common one is ringing in the food.
Mm-hmm.
When the customer comes to the window, we tell them the total. Let's say it's $30. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to take it off down to $5. Collect the 30, put it all in the drawer, the transaction goes through, and then right after the drawers open up and that difference is taken out.
Right.
But some of them were refunded, some of them were coupons. Either way, the cash was coming out of the...
This is why I never tried to work at KFC. You got to really be strategic at the register to know what you're doing. Boop, bop, boop. If you don't cover your ass, even if she wasn't stealing, even if she was just fucking up, if she was doing the wrong thing, that shit could look sus, you heard? So it's not even worth it. You're gonna get caught. The shit is petty money. There's just a lot that come with this dumb shit.
Right. So employees authorized to do this?
No.
So it's a management authorization.
Correct.
So how were you able to get management authorization?
I'm sorry?
How were you able to do the discount?
I was given a manager fingerprints.
Okay. Are you in management here? So you know you're not in management. Do you know that that's a management task to do that? Okay. So you knew that you had the authorization, but you're not supposed to have it.
I had the authorization.
You gotta ask the management why they gave her that authorization if it wasn't confirmed to have a decent purchase with it. That's what you should be. Why would the management clear her to get the fucking authorization if she wasn't valid for it?
For 2 days, which is the 3 beginning days that we open.
Right. During like the soft opening? Right, so they let you guys do all that during the soft opening?
We assigned one person because we did a friends and family night where everything was only coupon.
I understand the whole food and beverage game. I got a lot of years behind the bar.
Yeah.
So I know every scam there is. There's not a scam out there. There's not a scam out there I don't know about. What is an unclassified LOR? What is an LOR?
I'm not 100%. They use different, those guys up there use different terminologies and what I'm familiar with inside the restaurant.
Okay, what I'm going to need from you, my friend, is to go through this And what kind of phone is this?
iPhone.
iPhone. So, one page at a time.
Screenshot.
Bam.
Over to you. Okay.
If you would be so kind as that.
Okay.
And then screenshot each DTIQ like that. Each DTIQ like that.
I just
like
want to
that.
know how much.
And it's going to take you a couple minutes. And yeah, and every single one send to my phone. Okay. Okay. So based on my investigation, over a period of, it looks like 20 days, you were defrauding them of their money.
What's this new tool that all the big YouTubers are using to...
It's taking so long. You investigated while she sat in the car. She knows she going to jail. Like, this whole investigation is drawn out. She's like, yo, take me to jail so I can tell my people. That's all she wants.
You admitted it to me. You told me you did it. So the discrepancy is how many times? You said 6. They said 12. And the amount. You said you didn't know, but you didn't think it was $540. But based on that, and you being an employee, so you are going to be placed under arrest. You're going to be charged with fraud.
Can I just get citation?
No. It's a felony. You'll be charged with fraud, and you go to jail. You have to bond out. Okay. So I'm going to tell you. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
Can I text them? So
I'll do that for you. Go ahead and put your phone down. Go ahead and put your phone down. Put your hands behind your back. So you are under.
Much for these. That means I work.
So all of that. Do what now? You listen. I'm going to do an investigation of this. You got all the right to talk to me and answer. Okay. I have your phone. Show me 10:15. Stop.
I'm gonna go outside.
No, you're not. You're going to stay with me. You're going to do exactly as I tell you to do. No. You're under arrest. Okay. You're going to do exactly as I tell you.
Now.
You understand, or you're going to catch an extra charge?
I just said you were hurting me.
Okay. Well, I'm not hurting you, but you cannot walk away once you're in handcuffs. Okay. That's so you don't walk away.
I'm not walking
just
away
stop.
from you. I'm already on a handcuff.
Don't make this about you and me. This ain't about you and me. Okay.
I'm not making this worse. We just not it. I didn't explain you everything.
Okay, but that's...
And you're still right here just hurting me because like I just said, I'm pregnant and I feel tight.
You're pregnant?
Yes, and I feel tight.
Okay, well, I'm not hurting you.
Él me llamó. Sí, él me llamó.
She's under arrest for fraud, okay?
Sorry. Sí. El que estaba afuera. El que estaba afuera.
So he'll be able to bond you out.
Can I put this in front of my hands?
Are you going to give me a hard time? Because I'm the nicest guy you're ever going to meet. But if you walk away from me, like you understand. Okay.
I feel tight. I can't have my hands in my bag. Can I have them in my front?
Of course, I'm going to help you out with that. But like when I put you in handcuffs and you try and walk away, you know I got a job to do. Go ahead and step out. I'm very reasonable, okay? When I unhandcuff you, don't do anything funny. You understand? Do you understand? Okay. I'll do you that and put your cuffs in front. I'm happy to help you out. If I had the ability to give you a notice for something like this, then that's